Hello everyone, Brett is back with another game. It is a Protoss vs. Zerg. My opponent in the top left is Rubber Ducky, and myself, of course, being the Protoss player in the bottom right. So we go to our production tab. You can see what's going on here. It's actually a game I just played. It was against a Masters player, and yeah, I saw that and kind of freaked out. I was like, uh-oh, I am in deep trouble. So I just wanted to show this game and show what I did right and wrong, etc. So it's a great game. Enjoyed it. Throw up a gateway as usual. I'm getting my timings down really nicely. Okay? Getting the timings down very nicely. We first thing we do, we get a 14 pylon. Then we're going to get crazy and go for a 15 gateway. And the 16th probe starts when the 15th gate. So maybe it's a 16 gateway. And then we get our simulator right after we get the gateway. No probes in between that. Then we get our another probe because the previous probe won't have finished building by that point. So after this, I just put 2 guys on gas, and then I get my 16 here about to pop out. Bam, 16. This guy is going to go over here to the expansion and lay down a nexus right in the nick of time. And he's going to crawl back over here and build my cybernetics core. Now, the cybernetics core is a little bit late because of this build, but it's okay because I'm getting this nexus up so quick. So let's go to my opponent and see what he's up to real quick. He's getting a pretty quick gas. I went hatch first. Not surprising. He went a quick extractor and a spawning pool right after that hatch. Currently has 15 workers and 3 on gas. And if we go to the units tab, you can see I am up 1 worker. It's really irrelevant, but it's interesting to see the path he's going. So I instantly bring my probe, and you can see I've got him going up there, and I say, okay, let's scout first, and then maybe I'll do something weird. If we go back home, I did put my second pylon up, and it's about to finish. Mothership is delayed a little bit because of that, so I need to build that second pylon a little faster now. Build a gateway here in this nice little nook in between the pylons, and I threw up another gateway as well. So I got 3 gateways, and I just threw up my next gas, and my expansion's about to finish. So if you go to my opponent, he's got a few drones on his expansion. He actually hasn't taken a 3rd base yet, which is unusual. I usually experience Zerg taking a gold by now, but then again, this is a Masters player. Maybe he's doing some crazy advanced stuff I don't even know about. Alright, he's starting to get speed. He says, alright, I need speed. Take this guy down. So if we go to his vision, he can't see this pylon right over here. Can't see it. So this Overlord just misses it. And that ends up actually being kind of a big deal. But he does know this one's there. So Rubber Ducky does see all this going on. I myself have not seen much. My probe moved in and is about to get sniped off. So all I really saw there was a spawning pool and extractor. I don't even think I looked. I didn't think that probe was going to get much done, but we have my mothership core over here. I brought my mothership core all the way from home to kind of protect this pylon so that it can use photon overcharge and just be ready to kind of defend this spot while I warp in some units. You remember I got 3 gateways pretty early, and I also added on another one to finish up, hopefully right around when this warp gate tech finishes. And I'm also throwing up a robotics bay. So I'm throwing some more probes at the expansion there. If you see the units tab, he's actually up 2 workers now. And he also has 17 speedlings. He just attacked this pylon. I throw on a photon overcharge. Photon overcharge does get a few kills, but ultimately he does end up taking that down. I see Rubber Ducky. He's about to see this pylon, is he? It's the first time I'm watching this replay. I wish I knew. Okay, so I'm moving towards this hatchery. He's finally getting the gold expansion. These stalkers are in a terrible position. The Zerglings, Speedlings I should say, move in and kill that stalker without much of a problem. And before he knows it, there's another pylon here. I throw up another photon overcharge and start picking off some more of those Zerglings. And I do end up sniping this Overlord, which does put him supply capped. He's in the red for 5 supply. So that's good. It's a pretty big deal. Everything's a big deal when I commentate. I've noticed that. I'm trying to work on it. So you see that my mothership and the zealots are just kind of taking care of business over there. And he can't really move in when I have photon overcharge on this pylon. So it's just a great defense position. I mean, how many drones and probes can he really get while I'm in this position? So I feel like for every race probably, but I only play Protoss, and I gotta say, early pressure is extremely important. If you don't put that early pressure on and let your opponent do what they want, you're most likely going to be at a loss in the later game. Although my macro is not stellar, it's getting better, but it's not there quite yet. He does put up a spine crawler, and I do notice that, so I back off a little bit, and I say, all right, let's move in. Don't end up getting any Zerglings there, and I don't want to go buy this spine crawler. He puts him in a very nice spot. But if you go back to my base, I did take the gold expansion for myself as well. And this Nexus is almost completed. He has no drones on here yet because, well, he really can't. So I like the pressure I'm putting on him. It's kind of disabling him from getting a huge economy early on while being able to put on some pressure and get some kills. If you look at the units lost tab, it's right around even, but he's lost 33 units, and that's a lot of larva. So if you go back to the production tab, he is getting Zerg missile attacks level 1 and muscular augments. So that's just about to finish up. Myself, I went for a quick robotics bay and got a disruptor out of that robo facility as soon as I could. And I know that I did my little push and I put some aggression on, and now I'm guessing he's going to want to put some aggression back on me. So I'm starting to wall off this area right here. This actually isn't walled off, if you noticed that. Very annoying. I think this map specifically, maybe a couple others, but I do have a full amount of probes on my expansion. So does he. He's got some gas going there, and my expansion for the gold did finish. Now, he has no idea this is the case until now. So as you can see, I'm going to throw down my disruptor ball, try to get some. I do get a couple of Zerglings there. Always nice. And he does send the rest of them in to just try to snipe some probes here, and he does get a few. 3, yeah, it gets about 3, I think. But these rings don't stand a chance. My whole army's right there. I was a little worried about something coming into my gold, so I'm moving right back out to there. Warping in 4 zealots, so I've got a nice little defense building up at this gold base. And in my mind, I've already assumed he's trying to take this, unless he is going for some crazy all-in on me, in which case I feel like I'm prepared for. I do have another disruptor out, so I've got 2 disruptors now. He doesn't have much going on him in terms of army supply. If you look at our units tab, he has no army. So that's kind of a large factor when it comes to defending this push I'm about to bring. It's intense. So he is throwing up the lurker den. I hate lurkers. Hate them. I'll mention that right now. I do have 2 disruptors ready to go, and I do move in. Make sure he does not take this gold base, because once he has 2 golds up, it is going to be very difficult for me. I do throw 2 forges up on each of those upgrades, especially considering he already has upgrade 1 for here. I do get a very nice shot on those 2 disruptors. Let's take a look at that. Looks like 9 kills total on those disruptors, which is fantastic, but does not mean I'm ahead. If there's anything we've learned in my videos, my 3 videos, it's that you're not ahead when that happens. But I do have 3 of them, which is a large amount. I do try to snipe some drones here. I move out a little bit, trying to protect my stalkers. Bad decision by me. My army's all split up all over the place. It's not a good thing when you're facing Zerg. I'm trying to move my disruptors back and forth. I move that forward, don't get anything off of it. But I do have a bunch of stalkers and zealots still. He does snipe 1 disruptor. Another one almost died there. I do throw in that, and I do end up getting 1 Hydralisk, it looks like. But I do have a bunch of zealots that can definitely take down these Hydralisks, and hopefully I'll take out this hatch in just a moment. But as you can see, he just keeps trying to mass up more and more Hydralisks, which are great against gateway units, so he's doing the right thing. And like I said, this is a Masters player, so I felt good. Those physics are great. I felt good at this point. I really did. I had the gold. I was expecting some mutas from him, which I would have hated. But he didn't go for mutas. He ended up going for Hydralisk to just try to push me away. And he's doing a pretty good job of it right now. I do warp in some more stalkers. Actually, he is pushing back, but I do send him this disruptor, get 2 Hydralisks there, and pick off the last one there. So we go back to the units tab. You can see I don't have much actually, but I am up 16 workers, which is a very large margin. And if you go to the production tab, I'm getting 1-1 at the moment, where he has 2 attack now. He now has 2 attack on these Hydralisks. Pathetically, I was not aware of that during the game, and if I had known that, maybe I would have backed off a little bit and been more scared. But he is, of course, going to be trying to take back this gold base. So I have 1 little stalker here trying to fight through Hydralisk. It is not going to happen. And he can morph to lurkers now, but he doesn't have enough gas. He keeps having to spend on army supply. And as you can see, I'm up 30 supply in mainly in workers. But I'm also just up in army supply a little bit, I would say. But he is, of course, building more and more. He's got 8 Hydralisks on the way. That is a lot. But I am going Colossi. Big move, I feel, this game for me was putting up a second robotics facility right here compared to this first one. 1-1's about to finish, and I'm starting to get that extended thermal lance for my Colossi. So it's a very interesting move because the Colossi are great against Hydralisks, and they can be great against Lurkers. But I'm not going Colossi that often during these games, and it's definitely concerned about that. But I saw how many Hydralisks he was getting, and I knew Colossi couldn't be a bad choice. So I ended up going for that Colossi. He does want to build an expansion here. I say nope. He throws up expansion here, which is almost finished. These lurkers are almost out as well. And do I have an observer on the field? I do not. That is called foreshadowing. So, but I am up like 4K in the loss count. So that is always nice. Extended thermal lance is halfway done, a little over halfway. I haven't started my second upgrades. I need to get a Twilight Council, but I keep getting some more Colossi. Here's another one on the way. And he's starting to go for his ground carapace level 1. So I do have 1-1 compared to his 2-0. And these lurkers are just going to absolutely tear through my army. But I do have a lot back home. I did a warp back with my mothership core. Got to keep that with me. But in the end, I'm still putting a lot of pressure. I have this gold completely saturated. Not completely saturated, but it's full of probes, so it's almost saturated. And I do end up taking the 4th base here, being another gold base, which if I'm able to maintain that long enough, there's just no way for him to come back here. And I think that early pressure is what I really owe this game to at this point. Now you will see these lurkers do a ton of damage. And it's only 2 of them right now. He's getting 2 more. I knew there had to be more than 2. So we're a little worried about a Nidus network coming in here. A little Nidus worm popping up right here. In the game, if I had thought of that, I should have thrown up a pylon over here. There goes my Twilight Council finally, so I can get some better upgrades. And I do get the observer speed because I know those lurkers are running about. So I do have a probe here, and I'm telling you the metagame right now: probe micro or observer micro. You're going to see these dang observers. This is what a lot of Zergs are doing. They're going lurkers, Hydralisks, and overseers to pick off the observers and just decimate my army with the lurkers. There's not much I can do about it at that point. But the lurkers are definitely more of a stationary unit. I do move in here with 3 Colossi. That is a lot. It's enough to kill a bunch of Hydralisks, that's for sure. And you can see this observer gets sniped. I don't have another observer in play. And these lurkers just start going to town. I don't even realize it until a few seconds later, and by then it's too late. My shields are down for these zealots. But I do take these stalkers, warp them in, and I still have a very sizable army. And now the good thing about these lurkers, he just set one up right there. It's kind of annoying. I'm up 60 supplies, so I'm still looking great. And if I'm able to maintain this gold base like I am, my income's just going to be insane. If you see here, if you go to the income tab, sorry, you can see the income compared to my opponent is ridiculous. It's about 3 times, over 3 times his mineral count and twice his, 1.5 times his gas. And I do have 20 more harvesters. So I've been up this whole game, started from the beginning, got some very nice pressure over here, was able to snipe this hatch I think 2 times, and now I'm going to be moving out with 5 Colossi. He doesn't have any corruptors on the field, I believe. He does need corruptors at this point. Lurkers are just not going to do it, but he simply doesn't have the resources to sustain an army to basically compete these Colossi. And if you see me, I'm microing these observers. I'm moving them back and forth horizontally along my army so that they don't get sniped. And then I move them in so I can see these lurkers. Able to get that one. I throw up a Guardian Shield. So the Guardian Shield costs 75 energy, so a little expenditure. But these observers, they're still alive. That's always important. Move in towards this other lurker, and I just keep pushing through, get these Hydralisks right here, and he throws out the GG. So it was an excellent game. Just in terms of flowing through what I needed to do, my micro was pretty good, but my macro really came through that game. I was able to get this base fairly quickly after I realized my opponent was down, and I took out his gold base. and then grabbed this gold base shortly after that one. And not shortly, but I did end up taking this gold base and was able to secure it. So I'd say the major weak point for my opponent was not putting any pressure or harassment on me, maybe sending a few Zerglings over here. I had no idea this entire game that this hatchery was there. Wow, that is a game changer. When did he get that? Alright, well, I'm going to check that out, but I'll watch the replay. I'm sure you guys can look on YouTube and notice that when I don't, but wow. So this was a Masters player, and I'm happy to be able to beat him. Great. Anyways, guys, I will see you on the next video. Have a great day, and that's it. See you.